Right, so here we go. The Hella Spitfire Mark 16, 1/72nd scale. As you can see, this is a very battered box. Bought second-hand, so this damage is not me. The only addition here is that there was a little bit of tape that I've cut, and there was an elastic band around it that I have taken off. But otherwise, this is as acquired. And the main reason why I bought it is this beautifully tempting sticker right here, £2 incomplete. I did clarify with the staff, when they said incomplete, what they meant was they'd had a look, they didn't check every single part. However, it is apparently clear that it's either been started or parts removed from sprues or something like that. That is about as much as I know, so I've cut the tape, but I haven't had a look inside yet, so very intrigued by this. A little bit of history about this particular kit. According to Scalemates, it is 1980 something. Thankfully, the current Hella boxing has the tooling date on it, and the Hella website confirms it's 1978. So there we go. Apparently a 1978 tool. It's been around for a very long time, released in many different forms. Many different boxing. And we're going to just take a very quick look at the box. There is nothing, so like I said, I've cut the tape. There is nothing on the bottom. We have a bit of history of the aircraft, if you want a history of the Spitfire. It's a plane. Should be quite well known. Probably heard of it. The end is exactly the same as the other end. And then some basic information on this side. Multiple languages. One of them is ripped off, so I can't tell you what language that was. And recommends Humbrol paints. Oh, I like that phrase there. Look. The pictures are not contractual. Fantastic. It also includes 8 actual people. And apparently 37 pieces. All right, ready? Ready? Oh. I just noticed a little bit of it has already fallen out. There's a bit of black plastic there. Probably from when I was shaking the box like a madman. All right, we're not going to hold it against it, don't worry. So we have some paperwork and... Oh. Okay, we'll get back to that in a sec. Let's look at what we've got here. So I've just seen something and it's amused me straight away. Okay, right, we have flash service. What's a flash service? Flash service. Flash service. Everything just says flash service.
Flash, I love you! But we only have 14 hours to save the Earth! Flash!
Huh. Okay. The decals. Oh my god. Can you see what I've seen? Right, firstly, the register is quite poor, especially on the green, but most importantly, how is that green anywhere near the Sky Type S that the lettering should be? How is that even close? Oh, that is laughably bad. Oh. Well, I mean, it shows that there are 2 options. In fact, paint instructions are right here, so we can just skip to that. Yes. Oh, who remembers the days of painting instructions like this, right? Look at that. That is fantastic. There's the camouflaged one. And this one is probably silver because it's a Spitfire Mark 16. Yes, it's vertical dots that are small. And yeah, what a joke. What a joke. Oh dear, I am glad instructions have changed for the better. Yeah, so logically, straight away, unless I can find some spare decals, I'm not using that. I'm not having that green instead of RAF Sky. That is a joke. So unless I can find some alternative decals, I will be doing the silver option. There we go. Already decided. Fantastic. Assuming there is enough here to make a plane. Here are the assembly instructions in 3 parts. Spinner, glue fuselage together, finish plane. That's fair enough. To be honest, I don't think I'd actually need instructions to make this. What have we got here? Oh, just miscellaneous warnings in multiple languages. Yes, wonderful. Right, now, go back to what I believe I saw in here. So, Okay, the box isn't going to stand up. How many wings does a Spitfire have? Comment below in the chat. We have more than one plane. Look at this. We've got a pilot. Tail wheel. Some exhausts. Wonderful. We have a bottom wing. Part 13. A little spinner. Some wheels. Wonderful. Okay. Fuselage half. Top wing. Is there another fuselage half? There is. There's a... Okay, well... No, we can get to it. We can get to it. Oh, there we go. Fuselage half. Right there. Note how this is not a Hella... I was going to say, I think I know what it is, and it's just confirmed it. Guys, we've got a free Airfix Spitfire. I wonder if there's enough to make the whole thing, though. There's a wing there. Ugh, look at that. Right. Main wing. Top. Bottom. Miscellaneous. There's no tail wings from what I can see. Tail wings. Horizontal stabilizers. You know what I mean. Right, anyway. Interesting. We have... Now, this will be the Hella kit. One, because it's clearly not a Mark 1. Is that Mark 1 or is it Mark 5? Mark 1 or 2. Can't really tell the difference. There we go. So there's the fuselage. Cut off of the sprue. Empty sprue. See, this will be what they mean by incomplete. They've looked in the box and they've seen that there's just jumbled parts in here. We're missing a part there, but otherwise we've got bottom wing. I hope we have a tail wing. You know what I mean. Horizontal stabilizers. The top of the wings. I see the detail on this is pretty nice. Yeah, not bad at all, you know. This is mostly empty, so I don't know why. Presumably that's what somebody started. So, oh yeah, look at that. Ouch. Somebody has not particularly well tried to glue the spinner together. Another mostly empty sprue. And then some loose bits. There's a seat for the Mark 1, and then we've got the instrument panel on there. So I think we have all the pieces. What I'll do is I'll quickly line everything up and see what we've got. See if we do indeed have a full plane. But we've certainly got enough. We don't have any clear parts, do we? No clear parts. Okay. Other than the lack of canopies, we do at least have enough to assemble a Spitfire. I'm sure I can find a spare from somewhere. Might not be 100% accurate, but yeah, that's what you get for £2. It warned me. Actually, oh, it's a bubble. I don't know if I've got a spare bubble canopy. Ooh, we'll have to wait and see. I'll line up. I'll see what we've got, what we haven't got. We'll work out whether £2 was a good price for this mystery Spitfire. Right, okay, so I've done a quick check. This is what you get. As far as I can tell, based on the instructions, the only parts missing are the clear parts for both aircraft, and there is no horizontal stabilizers for the Airfix one. So this is what you get for £2 and an incomplete sticker on the box. I think there is enough to at least make the bulk of a Spitfire, certainly the Mark 16. I don't immediately think I have a spare bubble canopy for a Mark 16 Spitfire. I'm going to be quickly racking my brain to see if I can work out a solution. However, for a random £2 haul, I'm quite impressed. There's certainly enough from the Mark 1/2 to build that. Not that it's the most enjoyable kit in the world, but there is certainly enough to that Spitfire for me to get it done again, other than the canopy, but I'm sure I can find a spare for that. Unless, of course, someone has a spare, in which case, well, let me know. Send me an email. I'll leave a comment and I'll work out what to do. Hello, Editing Captain here. It was at this point that I was wrapping up the video as an unboxing only, with a nice like, subscribe, all the usual sort of stuff that I do at the end of a video. However, it became apparent very quickly that this kit was not going to take long to build and was probably better off in an all-in-one video. So that is what we've got for you today. So I hope you're comfortable, because now the construction begins. Right, summarising what I said in the unboxing section, the tool date here is 1978. I've taken it from Hella rather than from Scalemates, which incidentally has actually been updated since I looked that up, because I double checked and it now says 1978. The number of parts is 33 according to the Hella website and according to me counting them. However, the original box said 37. Not sure what those 4 parts are, but hey. 2 schemes, as we've seen, and €10.99 is the recommended retail price. As for how much you can get it in the UK, really depends on the shop you go to. The first step was to lay everything out on the instructions to make sure that I knew exactly what we did and did not have, and the control column is missing in this kit as well, so that will not be included. Also, the assembled spinner and propeller bits were removed so that I could re-glue them properly before moving construction to more or less as per the instructions. Not that that's particularly helpful, because instructions of these days were very much a here are some bits, shake them together and you have a plane, rather than the nice broken down system that we have these days. A little word on the quality of this kit, as in the plastic. It was very nice. It's not too hard, not too soft. It's much better than modern Hella that I've come across. When I say modern, I mean modern reissues of old kits. The plastic on there is quite translucent and horrible to work with, whereas this stuff, absolutely fine. No problems whatsoever. It also had very crisp detail, very little flash, and overall, considering at the time that this came out, which presumably was the 90s, it was already a 20-year-old tool, and I think was very good. Hella opted for a very simple solution for the underwing radiator, which is a block which has both leading and trailing details, so both a front and a back, just an abrasion on a bit of plastic. So not very detailed, however, given the size of the aircraft, not a problem. Just don't forget to stick that on before you put the top of the wing on, otherwise it's just going to be a hole. And the wing required a little clamp and a bit of tape as well. The interior is then using the usual Hataka interior grey-green that I use for anything British, just brush painted on. It's a reasonable paint. I think it's about the right colour, but then, hey, I wouldn't know. But I've got a pot of it, so I always use it. And then, just like that, the fuselage halves can be stuck together. They were slightly resistant to being kept together, so I did have to use plenty of tape and clamps, but just work through this stage slowly and you'll be fine. It is not a difficult kit to assemble at all. The wings can then be glued to the fuselage, and this is the only place where there was actually a notable gap, unfortunately. I'm going to jump ahead a little bit now, because for whatever reason I didn't actually film any of the painting. And here's a closer look at the decal sheet, and I will talk about the painting whilst you see me put the decals on. By this point, I'd put a bit of filler down the wing roots and just kind of fallen out of love with the kit. It just felt a bit too crude. Maybe it's because I was making it alongside some much newer tools, so it's fine, but nothing more than just fine. So for painting, I blitzed it with a grey primer from Tamiya, and then a silver rattle can from Tamiya as well. After the decals went on, a bit of satin varnish, just standard Vallejo stuff. I much prefer a satin finish, even when the aircraft should be glossy, but in this case it's high-speed silver. It was a silver paint rather than that over-glossy natural metal finish. Anyway, the propeller blades, during the surgery to remove the poorly assembled bits, when reassembling I lost the plug, so they're not going to be able to spin, so at that point it was just sanded flat and then stuck on right towards the end. So with the plane at this level of completion, we still need to address a glaring omission, which is of course the lack of a canopy. I had a little think and a little look through my spares box, and indeed I was correct, I do not have a spare bubble canopy. However, I do have this. This is a Fujimi Griffin powered Spitfire. I can't remember which mark, I want to say 14, and as you can see from the paint finish, it's been sitting around for a while. It was painted back when I was a teenager using enamel paints, and the canopy looks about right. I don't know if they are the same canopy, but it looks about right. So I've decided, given that this plane is just sitting around, nothing happening anyway, we're going to take the canopy off, and we're going to use this Just needs a little bit of sanding, a little bit of fettling to get on, and that will then provide a suitable replacement for the one that is not in the kit. This does, of course, leave me with a very worn Fujimi Spitfire, which, whilst was a fantastic kit, has just been broken by years of neglect. Oh, I guess that solves that problem then. So yes, on with the canopy. That can then be painted just to try and colour match a bit better, and then the final stage of construction is the exhausts, which have been painted separately in their sprue and can then be glued on. So all that is left is to see the end result and, well, some final thoughts, I guess. All in all, this didn't take me that long to build. I threw it together in a weekend. I like a good Spitfire. I have plenty of Spitfires, and I do think the Mark 16 is one of the nicer looking ones, even when it has the ruined clipped wings and the bubble canopy, which I think really transforms the shape. This is definitely an okay representation of a Spitfire. However, in a world where you can buy a Spitfire from almost any manufacturer, why would you buy this one? The fit was okay. The detail is okay. The enjoyment factor was not there at all. For whatever reason, this kit totally sapped any enjoyment that I had out of it. I assembled the cockpit, got the fuselage halves together, and then just realised I was wasting time on a kit that I just didn't feel invested about. Is it because I don't really have the same nostalgia effect that other people have? I didn't make this kit when it came out because I wasn't born then. I probably did make it in the 90s or noughties, roughly when this one was, but again, I just would rather build a better, newer tool. And on the topic of the age, the decals are actually the worst bit and the biggest letdown of this kit. Would I recommend the kit as a whole? Well, yeah, if you pick it up for, like I did, a couple of quid or just something very reasonable, then yeah, you know what, you're probably going to have fun. But looking at the decals when I opened the box kind of set a very bad precedent for it. And even these ones, which have better register, still look very dated. The registration underneath the tail just looks crude by comparison. You know, we're used to precision printing, we're used to ridiculous levels of detail, and here they give you codes that were green instead of sky, registration that just looks like somebody's painted it on with a roller, and I don't see why you would want that. But nor was I invested enough to go and buy aftermarket stuff, because if I'm going to buy aftermarket decals, I'll just buy a better kit, quite frankly. So yeah, I guess in short, the kit is a victim of time and should probably be retired and just go and buy an Airfix or an Edward or literally any other modern tooled Spitfire instead. If you see it in a box that says £2 incomplete, yeah, go ahead, why not? Because quite frankly, I got 2 Spitfires for £2 and I'm okay with that. Okay, I'm going to leave it at that because I feel a rant coming on. Overall, yeah, fine, whatever. What do you think? Drop me a comment if you like it, if you don't like it. If you think the green decals are acceptable, then you're wrong, but let me know why you think you're right, even though you're obviously wrong. And of course, don't forget to like, subscribe, hit the notification bell, and you can even become a channel member like the people on screen now. Thank you very much for your support. These people get images of planes like this before the video goes out. So, you know, you could be one of those. And over time, you'll get more rewards the more people there are. So it's a community thing, really. I'm also really intrigued to know what you would do in this situation if you saw a second-hand kit with £2 incomplete written on it. Would you want to know what you're getting for that £2, or are you happy just to go up to the counter and do what I did and buy it and, well, gamble away, I suppose? I would usually be not the gambling sort, but hey, something came over me. What can I say? Will I do it again? Probably. Should I do it again? Probably not. And on that, I will leave you. Thank you very much for watching, and enjoy the rest of your day.